Okay, so real talk. You're gonna spend about 26 years of your life completely unconscious. Not traveling, not working, not doing anything. Just gone. And the wild part? For most of human history, nobody had any idea why. Not the Egyptians, not the Greeks, not scientists in the 1800s, nobody. The best answer anyone had for like 2,000 years was basically your soul leaves your body at night and comes back in the morning. And I know that sounds insane, but honestly, by the end of this, the real answer is gonna sound just as crazy. So let's go all the way back 300,000 years ago. Your ancestor is not in a bed. They're in a tree, literally wedged between branches with one arm looped around a limb so they don't fall and die while they're knocked out. Every single night. Because the ground is where the lions are, and sleeping on the ground meant you probably weren't waking up. But then, something changed. Researchers found these ancient sleeping sites in South Africa. Grass beds layered and pressed down. And here's the part that got me. Some of them were lined with specific plants, leaves that naturally repel insects. These people weren't just passing out wherever. They were choosing materials, building something comfortable, thinking about tomorrow's night's sleep before they'd even finished today's. That's the first time in history that sleep stopped being survival and started being something people actually cared about. Now, jump forward to ancient Egypt. They had a god specifically for protecting sleepers. His name was Bes. He was a dwarf with a lion face, and people kept little statues of him in their bedrooms. The first sleep aid in human history wasn't chamomile tea. It was a demon-fighting dwarf god on your nightstand. The Greeks went even further. They named the god of sleep Hypnos, and his twin brother, his literal twin, was Thanatos, the god of death. Same face, same energy, because to them, every night felt like a small rehearsal for dying. But here's the thing about the Greeks that most people don't know. They also built dream temples, actual physical buildings where sick people would go to sleep and receive healing visions in their dreams. Priests would sit with them, interpret what they saw, prescribe treatments based on it, which sounds like complete nonsense until you realize that modern neuroscience has confirmed that sleep is genuinely one of the most powerful healing tools we have. They didn't have the science, but somehow they knew. Okay, now here's the part that actually broke my brain when I first learned it. You ready? For most of human history, people didn't sleep the way you sleep. Not 8 hours straight, not one long block. They slept in two separate pieces. You'd fall asleep around dusk, sleep until maybe midnight, wake up naturally, then stay awake for like an hour or two. And in that window, people would talk, pray, think, have sex, visit their neighbors, literally knock on someone's door at 1 a.m., and it was completely normal because everyone was awake. Then they'd go back to sleep until dawn. This was called first sleep and second sleep. And a historian named Roger Ekirch spent 16 years finding references to it. 16 years. He found over 500 mentions in diaries, court records, medical texts, literature. People wrote about their first sleep the same casual way we say after lunch. It was just how nights worked. Then the Industrial Revolution showed up. Factories needed workers at specific times. Artificial lighting pushed bedtimes later. And suddenly, everyone was supposed to sleep in one block, 8 solid hours. Not because your body needs that, because factory schedules did. So if you wake up at 2 a.m. and you can't fall back asleep, and you think something is wrong with you, maybe nothing is wrong with you. Maybe your body is just doing what human bodies did for 100,000 years. Now let's talk about what science actually found. For a long time, researchers thought sleep was passive. Brain power's down, body rests, nothing interesting happening. Then, in 1953, a grad student named Eugene Aserinsky was running an experiment on sleeping babies. Watching their eye movements, his equipment kept going crazy. He thought the machine was broken. It wasn't. The baby's eyes were moving rapidly behind closed lids while they were completely asleep. He was so freaked out, he woke up his own 8-year-old son just to check if it happened in adults too. It did. That was the discovery of REM sleep, and it destroyed the brain powers down theory completely. Because during REM, your brain is almost as active as when you're fully awake. You're not resting, you are working. And what exactly is the brain doing? Okay, so this is the part that genuinely keeps me up at night, which is ironic. Your brain has a cleaning system. It's called the Glymphatic System, and it only fully activates when you're asleep. Basically, cerebrospinal fluid flushes through your brain, scrubs out the toxic waste that built up during the day. One of those waste products is a protein called amyloid beta. That's the same protein that builds up in Alzheimer's disease. So every night, your brain is cleaning itself, removing the debris, running maintenance. And if you cut that short, the cleaning doesn't finish. The waste stays, and over years, over decades, it accumulates. This is not a theory anymore. This is what the research shows. Then there's the memory thing. Everything you learned today, everything you experienced, is sitting in short-term storage right now. The transfer to long-term memory happens during deep sleep. Your brain literally replays the day, keeps what matters, deletes what doesn't, files it away permanently. Which means, if you stay up all night cramming for an exam, you studied into a filing cabinet that's about to get wiped. The studying doesn't stick without the sleep. The sleep is the studying. And dreams. Nobody fully understands them yet, but the best theory right now is your brain is running simulations, taking real fears, real desires, real unresolved situations from your life, and running them in a safe space where nothing actually costs you anything. Practice, processing, problem solving. Paul McCartney woke up one morning with a complete melody in his head, walked straight to the piano and played it. Thought it was so fully formed, it had to be someone else's song. Spent weeks asking people if they'd heard it. Nobody had. His sleeping brain wrote Yesterday, one of the most covered songs in music history, written completely unconscious. So here's where we are now. Modern humans are the only species on Earth that deliberately chooses to sleep less than it needs. Every other animal sleeps exactly as much as its body asks for. No alarm clocks in the wild. But we invented artificial light. We invented screens that blast blue light at our faces at 11 p.m., which tells your brain it's noon and shuts down melatonin production completely. We invented a culture that treats exhaustion like it's a personality trait. Oh, I only sleep 4 hours. I'll sleep when I'm dead. And then we wonder why we're anxious, forgetful, and running on empty by Wednesday. Here's the thing though. Your body hasn't changed. Not in 2,000 years. Same cleaning system, same memory transfer, same ancient rhythm that wants to sleep and wake again and wake again. The only thing that changed is the world we built around it. The Egyptians put a god at the bedside. The Greeks built temples to dream in. They didn't have fMRI machines. They didn't know about glymphatic systems, but they treated sleep like it was sacred. And honestly, given everything we now know, they weren't wrong. 26 years of your life. Make them count.